Welcome into Capper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo da Costa. This is Free Picks and Shit on Capper's Cave, brought to you by Intellect Sports. Yeah, we have College Week 3, NFL Week 2 best bets. Our best bets for the weekend football Monday night will air on Thursday. Well, obviously, it's Friday. We're a little late on it, but we're getting it out to you just in time. And our reaction show will air on Tuesdays, but not just a reaction. We'll give you our Thursday night bets for pro and college, and if there is some Wednesday or Friday, maybe we'll throw those in there as well. And if you don't have it, get the Capper's Cave app on the Apple Store or on the Android Store, and you get your daily picks from 6 major sports. It's only $9.99 with a lifetime of daily picks from our Cappers at Capper's Cave. We have the one, the only, Locksmith Larry, or Larry the Locksmith, whichever you prefer. Good day, sir.
Yes, sir, it is. It's Friday, right?
Indeed it is. We also have Betman on the show. He'll give us his best bets for the week in NFL, I believe, this week. So we'll see what he has to say. A quick news, notes, and complaints. We'll start with the NFL. There's already some talk about Urban Meyer, one and done. I think it's a little early to say that. I know they didn't look good, but come on, we all expected this? Because the USC job opened up out, California, not South Carolina. But I mean, come on, can we already start putting them in that? I mean, we can't wax them after 1 year. I mean, even if they go 0-17 this year, he needs at least 2 seasons. With maybe a 500 mark next season. But the storyline seems to be there's controversy in the locker room, just the way he's treated and how he treats his staff and players, telling them that their jobs aren't secure or sorry guys, gotta go. Which I mean a lot of coaches probably do that, right? A lot of coaches probably do. I mean, he's just trying to set the tone, probably. And it's not like college. He's going to figure that out. I really want to see him do good, but he probably won't. And I can't really see him going to USC, but they're already talking Bieniemy from the Chiefs, offensive coordinator. So I hope he goes. Yeah, get him out of the AFC. Please go. All right, there's a good article, a very interesting article that we read, and we put some bits in here, but they're talking about how punting, and if you haven't heard, is diminishing in the game, so to speak, this year. We're talking about going for it on 4th down instead. I mean, did you notice the uptick in coaches rolling the dice in week 1 already? There was a large one, in fact, and I think this plays into capping as well. Which teams do it more, over, under, and such. I mean, the NFL coaches have forever been conservative when it comes to 4th down. It was always because, was it the smart thing to do, or they didn't want to, or if they would get criticized for, if they didn't make it, or maybe they just didn't want to put their jobs on the line. But the analytics seems to be changing that right now. And there are now the data points that coaches can turn to determine, win probability based on decisions that they make. 4th down being obviously a big one. You go for it here, your win probability increases to 10%. Go for it there, it decreases 2% and such. And instead of having to explain like a gut decision, coaches can now point to data. And who can argue with data, right? And this isn't explained after the game. Obviously, the stats are put together after, but they can now turn to it during the game, punch in the situation, and boom, you have it. I mean, this sounds like a freaking video game. Next thing you know, we'll be putting freaking robots on the field, right? And this is probably what the younger generations want. The best hacker wins. Who can ever shut down players and shit. I mean, is this what we're coming to?
Yeah, man, I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, I do like going for it on 4th. It's kind of exciting, but it sounds like a damn video game.
I wouldn't say we'd go that far yet, but the numbers are there, technology's there. Anyways, last week, though, first week, NFL produced 51 fourth down conversions, highest in league history for a week. And there was very good contrasting examples, per se. The Bengals and the Cowboys. Bengals won going for it on fourth down after missing a crucial one earlier, and the Cowboys lost in part because Mike McCarthy chose not to. Zach Taylor's decision to go for it on 4th and 1 on his own 48 increased Cincy's pre-snap win probability, putting them in their definite go, quote-unquote, category. They converted 3 plays, later kicked the field goal to win in OT. On the flip side, McCarthy opting to kick a field goal on 4th and 6 at the Tampa 30 with 1:29 left. The clock was the worst. Yeah, it was probably the worst decision of the weekend, according to these numbers. Excuse me, despite the possibility of a field goal putting Dallas ahead of the Buccaneers. So, yeah, the data says worst decision. Don't do it. But working off of just one week of data here. So let's wait more before calling it a trend. But, reading into it, the smart money would be more fourth down conversions. Obviously, again, there'll be more data, more situations. Organizations they're going to get better at analyzing it, and the questions based on the said data will soon change from, hey, why did you go for it on fourth down? Or why didn't you? And, coaches will have to still answer. They always have to answer that question, but they'll have more to say than just, gut feeling. So I guess it kind of helps the coaches. But very interesting. I would hate to see this, like the instant probabilities before the play. I mean, just keep it raw, at least for the fans. I don't want to see that. I don't think I do. Anyways, moving on. Again, we don't do too much of a reaction here, but we like to talk about some things. So, a quick thing here from college football. Phil what was his name? He's QB, Boston College. He's out, possibly for the season. Big blow here. I just want to bring this up because this was one of our top teams that we had possibly even winning the ACC. He's top QB in the ACC. Just great all-around team there. I think, again, real contender this year. He began his career at, Notre Dame. Served as a backup to Ian Bach for 2 seasons. Transferred. He quickly became the starter there. But, okay. But this kind of bleeds into our pick here. Now, let's talk backup for BC. Okay? Boston College. Temple getting 14 points over under at 57.5. This was already at 16.5 2 days ago. Now, obviously, the news of the quarterback being out dropped 2.5 points. And listen, this Dave Grosso backup BC, those of us who saw him play last season know that not all is lost here. He played the entire season. All right, season finale last year against Virginia. After Jerkovic, he was out for a minor injury. This is the last game. Listen to this, he tied Doug Flutie's single-game passing record for BC. 520 yards. 520. He's a capable QB. Okay, and he went 11 for 14, 199 yards, and 1 TD and no interceptions in his fill-in last game. They were highly rated because of Phil. And they have the top returning ACC wide receiver, Zay Flowers, 2 first-team ACC O-linemen, 2 second-team O-linemen, and they're no one in the division even close with an O-line like that. And they have several weapons around them. This line's already gotten better, and we predicted that. We almost bought it at 16 because we liked it so much, but we figured we'd wait. Listen, he's still listed as questionable, but more reports say that, he's out. He's done. He's done for the season. So, obviously, you see where we're headed here. The public, even some sharps, will eat this line up, and it should rise. It should go down. Maybe to 13 even. Perfect. Do it. We're going to wait a little bit. Listen, Temple whipped on Akron. Do note, Akron sucks. Go nuts. probably the worst in the league. Temple was a 6.5 favorite. But now all of a sudden, 6.5. Just think about that. 6.5 to an Akron team. It just shows that you're bad. And now they started the spread at 16.5 at home against BC. They know BC is good and capable. And the line's going to get more, it's going to get affected in favor. So many bettors go off of last game. Yes, Temple had the stiffer competition by playing Rutgers, but they got cremated by them. Rutgers put up like 60 on them. Rutgers is a better team this year. I do like where they're headed. Okay, Temple Owls are 0-4 ATS in their last 4 home games, 3-7 in their last 10. And Boston College has had some success in Temple, covering the number in 5 of the last 6 play between the two teams. I'd say lock it up. Let's lock this one up. Call it a day. No, it's not a day. We got plenty more for you. I think maybe 9, 10. Do we have 10 picks? I'm not sure. 8, 9, 10 picks for you. Let's go to the team that you hear about the most on the show, Coastal Carolina. Chantucklers. Is that how we pronounce it? Do you know what that is? I told you I was going to do that every time.
Hey, man, that ain't a hawk, man, or a damn crow. It's a damn rooster.
It's a what? And I would expect you to know that. I just pictured a bird, I suppose. Okay, now I see. Yeah, okay. It's definitely, now that I look it up, definitely a rooster. Has some balls hanging from his chin, for sure. But you know what? I'm just going to... Still going to do it. Anywho, quick pick here. Just this is a long-term investment on the whole year. And we expect him to cover at least 70% of their games and win maybe 100% of them. I mean, they went 88% last season with one push. And schedule looks very good this year, except App State and Troy. But still very winnable and coverable. Just playing the percentages here. Not knowing what Buffalo is. Yes, a run team, but they lost some good players last year, some rushers to the NFL, and they seem to be trying out several right now. After losing to Nebraska 38-3, lots to fix in a week against one of the nation's best teams. I mean, watch these dudes. Just talent everywhere. They're good, and I'm going to keep rolling with them. Coastal minus 13.5, I believe it's down to. It was up a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and lock that one up. Quick one. Next up on the slate, Cincinnati Bearcats. Not the Bear Kittens, because they're good this year. Versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Hoosiers getting 3.5 at home. Over-under sitting at 50. 50? 50.5? No, it's 50. Okay. I think you know where we're going with here, huh? I mean, what is going on here? Minus 3.5 to a potential, and it already went down. It was at 4 to a potential playoff team. Trappy as hell. Well, I mean, does the odds makers like Indiana? Yeah, they had a nice run last year, but short season for the Big Ten and small sample size. They lost to Iowa first game, 34-6. Big Ten marquee matchup, and Blue Goats. Okay, confidence win last game against Idaho, but I don't care. I don't care. This Penix Jr. guy who showed glimpses of greatness last season, but he's already trending down, way down. And now play arguably the toughest D they've ever faced. This Michael Penix guy. He threw for 224 yards, 112 yards per game so far this year. Completing 53.2% of his passes and recording 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. 3 interceptions to 2 touchdowns. This Cincy teams, they're averaging 45 points a game, allowing 10.5, and it's usually the D we're talking about here. But this Ritter dude, he's a stud, absolute stud. I mean, I'm telling you, we talked about it last week. The guy can throw like 60-yard freaking passes. He is.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
He is. I like this team. I like it. And he could do it on the ground. He could do it through the air. He's not shy with the run either, or they're not shy, as they average 188 a game. Puts him around 50th in the country. That's not too shabby. Cincy, 6-2 ATS in their last 8 non-conference games, 5-2 ATS in their last 7 on turf. The under is 4-1 of the Bearcats' last 5 road games. Are we going that way? The only reason this game is low, the odds saw a score of 7-7 halftime score in the Cincy Murray State game. It was 7-7, yeah. Also, they have faith in Penix, I think. The odds makers do. Even though they won last game, scored 56 points, they scored 56 points, had under 100 yards passing. But now he's going to be forced to pass versus this D. They're going to be behind. They're going to have to pass, and this spells trouble. Interceptions, turnovers, and a cover for these guys. Take the small points with a team that could probably contend with Bama. They'll probably lose, but I think they can contend the way they already look this season. So lock it up. Bearcats, -3.5. Let's get to our next game. Michigan State Spartans, Miami Hurricanes, one of the better matchups this weekend. Hurricanes sitting at -6.5, over under 56.5. Listen, the Canes proven to be the Miami of late and not of the old. They've gotten such high hopes this year. They got shut down by Bama. And then they barely eked one out at home against a lower division App State, which we do like. We had that bet. We liked App State. We think App is good. But on the other end, Miami just not proven to be a team everybody thought they were. De'Aaron King, I mean, he's seen his Heisman Trophy odds already fall from +2,000 to +8,000. Pretty much effectively ending his campaign for the award, right? I mean, this Michigan squad has been a nice surprise in the Big Ten this year. Playing solid football. 2-0 SU, 1-0-1 ATS. They rank 9th in the nation in total yards, 7th in rush yards. This offensive front isn't allowing much pressure on the backfield. I mean, this will probably be their toughest test, but the ground game has been rolling. 300 yards per game, and there weren't any blips against Northwestern and Youngstown State. Running back Kenneth Walker dominated Northwestern, and he wasn't even needed much last week. He should be rested and ready to go. They're 27th in points scored. Their offense is averaging the second most yards per play in the country. Let me say that again. The offense is averaging the second most yards per play in the country, per carry at 8.8. They have a top 70 defense in most categories. The Hurricanes, really, looking like more of a tropical storm or maybe just a freaking thunderstorm watch. Yeah. And barely break 100 in all offensive categories. Same with the D. I think it's two different teams going in different directions. Different views at the beginning of the season, and I think that's just added pressure for the Hurricanes. Everybody thought Michigan State was going to be middle tier, Big Ten. I mean, they're usually up there, but the last couple of years, they've kind of gone downhill. But they got a team. I mean, now I get almost a TD here. I mean, it might be a good teaser to add that on there, but I still think they might win outright. Hurricanes are 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games overall. 0-4 ATS in their last 4 versus Big Ten. Miami's 3-8 against the spread in the last 11 games against the Big Ten. 0-5 in their last 5 home games. 1-6 in their last 7 non-conference games. Lock that shit up, Larry. Michigan State +6. Baylor Bears. Not a big matchup here versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Baylor minus 17.5. It's already gone down. We like it. Over-under sitting at 49.5. It's the 3:30 game. Okay, this is a quick... I think this is one of our quick picks here. All right, there's a trend train here. There's a trend train coming through. Watch out. Trend train. Baylor has won and covered the last 9 between these two. Won and covered. Average margin of cover plus 18. Listen, these Jayhawks are not getting any better. 0-7 ATS in their last 7 home games. 1-10 ATS in their last 11 games on field turf. And we do like the over here. Baylor has put up some big numbers in the first 2 games. And we should be able to get here themselves at 49.5. Yes, teams against like Texas State. But we can say Kansas is a very comparable team to Texas State and whoever they play. Over's 4-0 in Jayhawks' last 4 games as a home underdog. 8-0 in Jayhawks' last 8 versus a team with a winning record. So we like both here. Baylor minus 17.5 and over 49.5. I mean, this is a 52-17 game. Really. Lock it up. That was a nice quick one. We all right. I like that one. Got a lot of picks for you. All right, Larry, I think you have one in college and the NFL for us this week. Is that correct, sir?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna take it to I got the East Carolina Pirates, man, and Marshall. I'm not sure what time, but Marshall Thunder and Herd sitting at minus 10. This is my triple D play, man. My double-digit dog. That's what I'm going to call that, man. I'm going to patent that right there. My double-digit dog. My triple Ds, man. I love me some triple Ds. But I'm going with them Pirates of East Carolina, man. Yeah, they may be 0-2, but shit, they played South Carolina tough. Lost 17-20. Had to travel to App. And by far the best team in the conference for their first game. Now, not a blowout, man. Keep within 2 scores here. So they're battle tested, man. Absolutely. The Thunder and Herd ain't played shit this year, man. They played NCCU, which is like North Carolina Central, some shit. And I don't even know who the hell they are. They played Navy, man. With all due respect to the armed forces, man, and armed services, but they ain't shit this year. And I think it's just a great game to go get the O going, man. After 2 tough starts against 2 tough Ds, man. This is a look-ahead game for the Herd, man, as they have App State on deck. Yeah, Marshall's got App State up, and I take them Pirates, man, plus 10. And this shit might shoot up to maybe get it at 11 or something, man.
Yeah, to add to that, I did look into this game. It was an interesting one. I had to peek at it. The Thunder and Herd, they're 0-6 ATS. Their last 6 home games versus the team with the losing record. They're 7-19 ATS in their last 26 games. Home games, sorry. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. So the ATS stats say to jump on it. Larry says to jump on it. So we're going to jump on it. East Carolina Pirates, plus 10. Hopefully more by Saturday. Hopefully more. So I'm surprised, though, you didn't go SEC, huh? And you didn't take your Bulldogs, who are 2-0 ATS. Minus 31.5 to South Carolina this week. That's a big number. You don't like that at all?
No, man, I'm gonna stay far away from this one. SC could be. I think they could be a sneaky good team this year, and I think the spread here just says look ahead game.
So you think they're looking ahead at let's see, Vandy, huh? Vanderbilt.
No, man, sorry. I thought they had Arkansas next, because them boys are looking good, man. Arkansas, man, they beat up on Texas last week, and I got Rice. And, man, they played 2 strong Texas teams, and it should be a good one.
Yeah, they have been a good surprise team in the SEC. This Sam Pittman coach, he hasn't moving in the right direction.
Yeah, dude, this guy's just a good football guy. Man, have you seen him, man? He's just big, he's loud, he's just a football guy, you know. And this dude, he probably motored down some wings, man.
Yeah, I bet he can. But they don't have a game this week, so I do see the kind of look ahead. But I know it's a little far ahead, but they'll have a nice bye, then a cupcake game, and then they'll play Georgia. So, yeah, yeah, that'd be a good one to watch. I want to see what they have. But Georgia, we'll see this week. Yeah, we're staying away from it as well. But let's jump on a South Carolina team here. An SEC team this year or this week. I'm all over the place. I don't know where I'm going with this. Don't pick this game. Whatever it is that's coming up next, do not pick it because I don't know what week I'm in. I don't know what fucking year. Mississippi State Bulldogs at Memphis. Memphis getting 3 points, over under sitting at 64. I think it's just a glimpse at this one. Why the -3? Well, State just beat a well-rounded team in NC State and have LSU on deck. I mean, this plays well into some situations as a trap game or, scheduling spot, but not all. If I was 100%, if we were 100% on that bet every week about the trap games, we'd be millionaires. So let's just take a peek at the strength of schedule here. Memphis beat Arkansas State, Nicholls State. Put up 55 at Arkansas State. Nice, right? Well, they allowed 50 points from Arkansas State. The State had a close one first game and won. But, and that was expected. But LA Tech, this happens sometimes in the first game. They got good pieces there in LA Tech. Listen, Mike Leach will not lose this game nor make it close. They held NC State, a powerful offense, to 10 points. This is too little for a tough scheduling spot for State. It's too little. And LSU, that's not a bad scheduling spot. Who are they? Who are they this year? No Burrow, no bueno. No Burrow, no bueno. I think you eat the small points here. Very small points. Yeah, this Memphis team has been known to put up some numbers the last couple of years, but yeah, look at their schedules. They don't play anybody. They play a couple of teams like this a year, and they get smacked around. Mississippi State, -3. Lock it up. All right, let's take a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll get right back.
Have you seen all BetAnySports.eu has to offer? Are you interested in low rollover bonuses? Choose between two fantastic premiums with tiny rollover requirements. Get a 55% welcome bonus with only 6 playthrough requirement. Bet your favorite games live through their exclusive live betting feature. And bet your game as it unfolds with the top-of-the-line live betting odds. Mention promo code CappersCave and receive a 55% free play bonus to start up your account. That's Capper's Cave, a 55% free play bonus. And don't forget, BetAnySports has to offer high-quality betting lines, true odds and parlays, same-day payouts, and many other unbeatable perks. Use promo code Capper's Cave and experience online sports betting like never before.
So let's get into, we're going to get Batman on the phone here. We'll move into the NFL, and yeah, we'll start with a pick from Batman, and shall I say bad Batman? Let's see if he is there and see who he is picking. Are you there for us?
I am Batman. I take Jags -6 at home. I really want to go surfing with Trevor.
Really? Surfing, huh? And just an FYI, it's -6 to Denver. So I will gladly take Denver +6.
Exactly.
And I will say last week you won with the fake line, but well, maybe we can see if we can reverse this bet here. Probably not, but probably not a huge payout. So there you have it. Thanks, Betman, and or thanks for nothing, what have you. Let's move on to the NFL. Let's start out with the Rams versus the Colts. Colts get 3.5 at home. Over/under it's sitting at 48. I think this is a nice setup for the Rams to start 2-0 SU and ATS, but it's not. It's not. They're a little overvalued here from last game against the Red Rockets and the Bears. This feels like potentially a tricky spot for the Rams. They come on off a Sunday night game, primetime game, early kickoff into Indianapolis. Tough spot. The Bears struggled as well. I mean, just as we thought. And the Rams were pumped. First home game, Stafford. But let's dig in. Chicago had more first downs by 7. They moved the ball. They ran for 134 yards. They had less penalties. They had a 67% red zone efficiency against probably the best D in the league. Also, Chicago won the time of possession by 11 minutes. And what's this all say? It just says, it doesn't always equate to wins. It usually does, but it doesn't always. But it just means they were able to move the ball. Like, on paper, they didn't look that great. Now you have to go into Indy, and you can expect a better home showing for the second game in a row at home. The NFL teams always do this. They always play. If they got 2 home games in a row, they always play better than the second one. And they're going to lose these battles. If they lose these type of battles that we just talked about, those stats, it will be a close one, and we think so. Indy, listen, they were out in the first freaking quarter, and it's a tough spot for a game when Wilson is on fire and the Hawks were flawless. They still won the first down battle. Wentz threw for 223 yards, 2 TDs. The run game wasn't bad. They won the time of possession. So they did some good things, but the numbers didn't show. This is not a case of a good team on the road against a bad home team. Judging how past seasons have gone, the ability to judge good teams from not so good teams doesn't really kick in till week 4. The line states this. By first week performance, they should be 7 to 8 points. But the odds know this team has some talent and enough to pull off the upset. Rams 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games following a straight-up win of more than 14 points. Colts are 4-0 in their last 4 games in week 2. I take the points, which should move up. The public's going to be – everybody's going to love the Stafford, Rams, what they're doing right now. 1 game, though. Come on, guys. 1 game. Lock it up. Colts plus a field goal and a half, yeah. I like the over in this one, too. I do like the over. What are we sitting at here? 48 points. Okay? I know you think defenses. Colts got a decent defense, but listen, the Colts were ranked 10th in defense, 9th ranked offense in 2020. Sorry. Listen, they tried to do this dink and dunk thing against Seattle Seahawks. They came out on the short end. The final score. I don't expect a similar strategy here in week 2. I think they're going to try to match up with the Rams' offensive firepower and with their own fireworks. And they have the talent. The Sunday Night Football score came in at 48. But that's with the Bears' offense. I think the Colts will score more. Over 6-0 in the Colts' last 6 versus a team with a winning record. I know it's only 1 game, but hey, it's a stat. We'll take it. We'll lock it up. Over 48. And the Colts getting points. Moving on to San Francisco. San Francisco will visit the city of Bro Love off a nice win in Detroit. What, man? Yeah, okay, that didn't sound right. City of Brotherly Love, not Bro Love, sorry. Eagles are getting 3 at home, over-under sitting at 50.5. I think this is an overvaluation, and it's at its best. Sorry, Johnny Bluegill, but 3 points? Are you kidding me? Are you trapping me? You know what? Yes, you are. and I'm not buying it. I think this is a toss-up in my book. And they both have justifying angles, okay? Eagles, nice surprise last game. But Atlanta, and now they have an away game against a division rival in Dallas on deck. This is not a good scheduling spot for Eagles. But that's why I think we like the under here. I know it's easy to look at the final score and Jalen's numbers from last game, but this is the NFL, and that's not how it works. They'll be a little too amped in this game to face a tough front in San Francisco. A team like this, they're trying to figure out their identity. Will struggle trying to feed. They'll be trying to feed the things they did well last game. And when it doesn't work, they'll be lost. The Niners will be entering they may come in and relax. They had a nice game last week, but they're going to be entering a very intense, hostile environment at Lincoln Financial Field. This is the first full-capacity, meaningful game for the Eagles since they lost to the Seahawks in January 2020. Birds fans are going to be absolutely juiced. Absolutely. Juiced, especially coming off a big win for Philly in week 1. I think it's a tough scheduling spot for both. San Francisco has the Packers on deck and should lead to more struggles on both sides and become a battle in the trenches and a defensive battle. Oh, and this dude Bosa, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. Again, under 5-1-1 in Niners' last 7 games after allowing more than 30 points in their previous game. Just expect the D this week. I mean, the O looked great, but they're just gonna have a tough time on the third downs in Philly. It's gonna be loud. They're gonna take it easy. And don't look at any of the overtrends for San Francisco. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of good ones. But last year's team, they had holes all over the place, injuries, COVID. Let's take a nice bite at this under and expect it to move up, as everyone and their mother will look at the trends and the scores from last week's games and say, oh, this looks great. But it's at 50.5. That's a lot. I'm telling you, hostile environment. It's going to be tough to score. Let's take it. Let's take the under. And again, we don't have a play on the game. We just think it's tough. If you're going to do anything with this game, tease one on the other side. Because 3.5, if you get it at 3.5, it's a good teaser either way. But 15.5 points, we'll take the under. Lock it up. Another big game here. Houston at Cleveland. No. Not going to be a fun one to watch. We don't think so. Cleveland, first home game. Minus 12.5. Over and under sitting at 48. I mean, this line says it all. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared of this line.
Don't be. Large number for NFL, but well placed, and we'll take it. I maybe take it even at 20. Listen, I don't care about the 37 fucking points Houston put up on Jacksonville. Alabama could have done that. And maybe by more points. Jags are a mess right now. I mean, Houston, they'll look confused going into the dog pound. They will. They'll be so confused and be like,
Oh man, this worked so good last game. It worked so good. It's not working.
they will. It won't work. Expect another hostile environment for Tyrod. He will get flushed and flustered all game with no weapons to help. Man, I don't see any points here for them. The Browns, on the other hand, they lost a close one, a game in which they had a 2-score lead most of the game, but Chiefs at home, Mahomes, yeah. Any other team, they're not coming back from that. And it's a 14 to 17 point game, right? The Brownies are tough, talented, angry, and will pose many problems for the first-year coach, David Culley, who got so lucky with his first matchup, confidence booster, you could say, against Jacksonville, but will be brought back to earth in the city that rocks, Cleveland. Not kidding. I believe this will be a 44-14 game. Easy win and cover. Texans 3-8, 3-8-1 ATS in their last 12 games after allowing more than 250 yards passing. They're 7-21-1 in their last 29 games after accumulating more than 150 rushing yards. 3-11-1 ATS in their last 15 games following an ATS win, 1-4. Blah 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 blah. They suck. Browns 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games after gaining more than 150 yards rushing. 5-2 in their last 7 games after allowing more than 250 yards passing. Take the Browns in an anger revenge spot and don't be scared. Lock it up. So, Larry, I believe you're next up. Locksmith, where you going with yours? Let's see. You there?
Yeah, man, I'm going with Jerry Jones and the boys in Dallas. I like the money line here, man, but I'll play it safe this week, and I'll take the points. Dallas, man. Oh, yeah, they're playing the Chargers, man, in L.A. Chargers are minus 3.5 points. I mean, listen, Dallas had some nice Z's, got some nice resting spot here. Now driving to L.A. and do some damage. These boys, man, they look like the best in the business last week against Tampa Bay. Man, I don't care about the score. But, yes, another storybook win for Brady. But, damn, did these Cowboys look good, man. I got to go with the experience of QB, coach, and the team that just outright looked better.
Yeah, and I will agree. I do like this. And I'll say it again, though. I'm not buying in on this Herbert hype. Yes, he'll be a great player. Yes, he'll probably be good this year. And he'll be a starter for a long time. But expect some hiccups here along the way. Expect more Dallas. There's probably going to be more Dallas fans in L.A. than L.A. fans. We all know the crowd's there. No offense. Just so many people. That's what happens. So many other things to do, I suppose. So not much advantage for a home game. I agree, though. They will be well rested with a good game plan to keep this within a field goal for sure. I feel when Dak has the ball, and I know you could say, oh, it was one game. No, but Dak, when he was at his best in 2019 too, he looked the same. When he has the ball, he can simply make things happen when need to be. And if the ball's in his hands and they're down by 2, 3, 4, I mean that's what it'll come down to here. Last team to have the ball will get a chance at a narrow margin win. And I trust them doing it over the Chargers. Take the points here, 3.5. Absolutely. All right, we're going to get into, that's it for our picks, but we have some betting nuggets and quick picks for you. We'll go over our picks really quick here. That is Dallas getting 3.5 at L.A. We have Cleveland minus 12.5 at home against Houston. We have San Francisco, Philadelphia under the 50.5. Rams versus Colts. Colts getting 3.5. We'll take the 3.5 points. Mississippi State Bulldogs at Memphis Tigers. We are taking Mississippi State minus 3. Larry's pick, East Carolina. He's taking the 10 points with Carolina over the Marshall Thundering Herd. Baylor Bears minus 17.5 over the Jayhawks and the over 49.5. We have Michigan State versus Miami. We're taking Michigan State plus the 6.5. Bear Kittens or Cats versus the Hoosiers. We're taking Cincinnati minus 3.5. And then we have our Coastal Carolina long-term bet. We're just taking it to take it. Minus 13.5 at Buffalo. Man, we did a lot of picks. And then we have BC minus 14 against the Temple Owls. Yeah, do I have to do it again? Every bird, man. Every freaking bird. All right, let's get into some betting nuggets and some quick picks for you here. We like to do these every week now. As shitty as Dallas' record been and has been over the last couple years, they haven't started 0-2 since 2010. We should have just put that into the bet. Oh, that was your bet. Maybe you didn't know that, but duly note that they have not started 0-2 since 2010. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, have lost 4 regular season games over the last 2 seasons. Right, 3 of 4 of those have been blowouts. They got their asses kicked. The next game after those 3 blowouts, he's thrown for over 4 TDs in each. Just a little betting nugget. Maybe it's a fantasy nugget, but he'll come out to play. Tennessee at Seattle, another overreaction here, I think, to the first week, and the odds makers love it when you do. They love when you overreact. Tennessee's way too talented to not keep this game close. +6 Tennessee, that looks pretty good. Denver, Jacksonville. Jacksonville getting 6. Jags, they're in trouble having to face this Teddy Bridgewater. He'll be manageable, but even a below par performance from Teddy will still do with that defense. Denver -6. We do like it. Cincinnati at Chicago. This just says home field, but we should see some hiccups and some mistakes from Fields in his first start. Cincy now that they have a strong start to their first, it was a great win last week. Great win, and they will come out. I think they're going to come out firing all cylinders from the heat in last week's game. Cincy money line. I mean, you can take the 2.5, but Cincy money line. Chicago, LA. Did we talk about this? We're going to say. Oh, no, sorry. That was last week's betting nuggets. Take that off the board because we're going against LA this week and we're taking the Colts, right? All right, well, that's it for the show. Please join us anywhere or like us wherever you listen. Get the Capper's Cave Capper app. Happy Capper. Be a happy Capper. Good luck to you all out there this weekend. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is Free Picks and Stuff. We'll see you next week. We're out. Peace.